Hi friends, I'm Aiden Taylor and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make these crepe paper collars for your holiday crafts. Alright, so I've got this little guy here which I've showed in a previous video, but he's still missing his collar, so I figured we'll go ahead and decorate him today. So first I'm going to go over the supplies that you're going to need for this project. The main material I use for my collars are crepe paper streamers. You can find these at your local dollar store, craft store, even Walmart, anywhere that really has like birthday supplies. Usually you'll find these there. You can use whatever colors you like. I'm going to be using orange and black. I usually like to do two different colors so that they have a more striped look. As you can see here on this guy, I have done a mix of the orange and black here. So we're going to be replicating this look here. You're also going to need some sort of thread. I like a pretty strong thread. This is just a DMC cotton thread. I like it because it's pretty durable, but it's not too thick. The only tool we're really going to be needing is a needle of some sort. Now, I like this needle. It's really long, and this is what we're going to be using to puncture the paper. So any needle will work as long as it's not too thick. Sometimes you can risk tearing the paper, and I like this one because the eye is not super wide, and that's the key to a good needle for this project. If the eye is too wide, you're gonna have a hard time getting it to pull through the paper because it'll snag. So that's why I like this one, and I like that it's really long because I can stack quite a lot of paper onto this needle. Okay, so you're gonna grab your streamers and you're gonna cut 3 strips of paper approximately 2 feet long, and you want them all to be roughly the exact same length. I like to do 2 strips of orange, 1 strip of black. I find that gives me the best color distribution. Alright, so I have all 3 of my strips cut. Now we're gonna go ahead and stack these up. We're gonna layer our strips of paper. I'm gonna do orange, and then black, and then another orange. You want to make sure that they're nice and even, and you want them all stacked perfectly on top of each other, which if it's not perfect, it's fine. You're not really going to notice it too much. So I'm going to start on this end, and you're going to just fold your stack of ribbons in half as neatly as you can. You want to try and make sure all the edges line up, and then you're just going to go down the ribbon and you want to fold it all the way down. Take your time with this because the better job you do here, the better look your ruffle is going to have in the end. If your layers are kind of all over the place and out of whack, it can look a little funny. You'll notice too with these streamers that they're a little bit stretchy, and so it might kind of try and curve on you as you fold it, but that's perfectly okay as long as it's folded nice and neat in the middle and you have all your layers on one side. Next, grab your thread, and I like to pull off a little over 2 feet. So now I am just going to thread my needle. Just like that. You're going to start on whichever end of your ruffle you prefer, and I just go ahead and puncture a hole right on that corner, right by the folded edge. Go ahead and pull through. You want to leave a little bit of an edge there. You don't want to go right on the edge because you want to make sure that you're getting all the layers of paper. Sometimes, as you can see, that black is kind of peeking out a little bit, so you want to come down a little bit with your stitches just so that you get through all the layers. And from here I just kind of fold the paper back and forth and punch it through the paper and just go one at a time. Just like so. it is a little bit time consuming, but the more you do it, the quicker you get. And depending on how far apart your spacing is, will determine the thickness of your ruffle. So for this little guy, I don't want his collar super thick because it'll kind of just drown him out. I want it pretty small. I'm trying to do smaller spaces in between each punch. But if you do much larger spaces, about like 1/2 inch to 1 inch, your ruffles are going to be really tall, but you're also going to have to cut a much longer strip of paper if you do it like that. But it's really up to personal preference, whatever feels right to you. I'm just going to work my way all the way down, and every so often I like to pull my thread through. You just want to be really careful because you can tear this paper very easily. So just be mindful of that and just take your time with it. And we're just going to repeat this all the way to the end. Alright, so I have stitched my collar all the way across. And so now you're just going to start cinching it up. So I pull it from both ends so that it's pretty well in the center. And I kind of like to scrunch it like all the way up as much as I can so that it kind of creases that paper into a ruffle. Then I'll start to carefully loosen it up a little bit here and there so that it's evenly dispersed across the entire collar. I know that I've got it right in the right spot if it will lay flat, because it can get a little bit curly and out of hand, but I know if I can press it down flat like that, it's perfect. Before you attach this to anything, what I like to do is go through and separate the layers. Now, this can be a bit time consuming, but I believe that it's worth it. While it's still cinched up, I pull apart each individual layer very carefully. All the way around the entire thing, little by little. You can also just wait and do this after you've attached it to whatever you're wanting to put it on. But I have noticed that that is much more difficult. You just can't get your hands in there as well. So I like to do it now. Okay, so I've separated all my layers, and as you can see, it's kind of a strange curly mess here, but we'll work it out. You want to make sure whenever you put this on, either you can tie it on with the strings so that it's detachable, or you can find the spine, that's what I like to call it, of your collar, and put your glue there, and that'll help hold the ruffles in place so that they never shift. But just like that, our ruffled collar is done. So you can really attach this to whatever you like. You can also make your collars even smaller if you would like, just simply by trimming the width of your ribbons, or don't fold it in half, double the amount of layers, and just sew it on one single side of all of your ribbons if you need a much wider and thicker collar. So it's a diverse technique. You can use this for many different things. Like I said, I'm going to be attaching it to this guy right here, which I'm going to have to trim this up because, as you can see, it's too big. But I'm going to trim this up and glue it on this guy, and I'll be back with the finished result. And here is the finished result. Here is how he looks with his paper collar completely finished. Just love the paper collars so much. They are my favorite aspect of my creations. I just think it's like the finishing touch that like really just brings them to life. I'm so excited that I got to share it with all of you. So if you end up making paper collars or making these trick-or-treat buckets that I have behind me, stay tuned for a video on these guys. Let me know, tag me on Instagram, Facebook, just about anywhere, Aiden Taylor, you can find me. Really hope you guys enjoyed this short tutorial, and I really appreciate all the kind comments that I've been getting. Stay tuned for more fun videos in the future, and I look forward to seeing y'all again. That being said, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and happy haunting!